comes in our mind is people with abnormal behavior, or people who have a psychotic disorder, or people who have a low IQ. And but mental health refers to a cognitive, behavioral, emotional well-being. It is all about how people think and feel and behave. Mental health is is also a very important in every stages of our life. That is from childhood to adolescence and through adulthood.
It is very holistic. The mental health directly influences thinking, feeling, and acting. It also affects our physical health, our work. So the mental health, according to me, is living a very flourishing life, not languished life. So mental health is holistic. When we ask where is the brain, you can point out the head. But where is the mind? You can't point out. The mind is a whole body system. Your thinking, your feeling, and your work, your activities, your physical health. That's what mental health means.
Well, according to me, I think proper importance are not given to mental health in our society, especially in Nagaland, because though we promote Global Mental Health Day annually, that is on 10th of October, but it is just an endeavor, it is a small endeavor to highlight the importance of carrying and uplifting the awareness towards mental health. There are many loopholes in the system, and there are lack of apathy and lack of awareness among the citizens in Nagaland. And maybe the reason is due to lack of professionals and lack of trained specialists who are not able, they are few in number. That is the reason they are not able to give awareness to the people. And not only that, we all have an idea what is mental health is, but the reason is we don't give importance to it and we don't practice it. The increase in digital media use may have had a great impact, bigger impact on teens and adults, because if you compare it to older adults' social life, they are more stable. And not only that, a crisis situations like present pandemic that has made people more anxious, and not only that leads to depression and even leads them to suicidal thoughts. And the increase of death rate and mental illness have increased a lot, and not only that, increase in unemployment and economic instability. And I think use of social media frequently are also one of the reasons of the cyberbullying, and which has been linked to depression, self-harm, and suicidal thoughts. So this could be some of the reasons, and which have affected the mood of the younger generations to increase in mental illness. Stigma refers to a clearly separating from free men, and in response to social stigmatization, people with mental illness may internalize public attitudes. It is contributing to rise of discrimination against people and mental illness. So when we see a person with mental illness, the first thing that we say is that we have a concern for them, but deep inside us, we still have the stigma that we have stigma taking us, that we look them in a different way. And then because that is how we are brought up, from our childhood, and how much educated and knowledgeable we have about them, we still have that stigma tagged in us, and we are not able to take them as a normal person. And not only that, that is the reason those people who have mentally ill, they are not able to have to access with the opportunities and resources as well.
See, when you talk stigma, it is someone sees you in a negative way because your mental illness. So it certainly affects your image. They discriminate you, then because of the stigma, your problem gets worsened, and they put you outside the society.
There is no such common symptoms, or there is no such particular illness that need attention of the counselor. But it is every illness, every disorder, though it may be severe or not, they should seek counselor, because it will help them to in their holistic life, holistic development of their life. And in the common there is a common symptoms when we see a mentally disorder, a health disorder. They will have symptoms like feeling of sadness and down, and not only that, they will always have a confused thinking, and they are not able to concentrate properly, and they will always have an excessive worry, and not only that, always feel good. They will always feel good about themselves, and also they will try to withdraw from friends and all the activities that they wish they keep interest on. And not only that, they will always feel sadness and always tired, and they will have a problem sleeping. Emotional support should be given to those people who are having a mental illness. And not only that, the key part of helping them is from family and friends. They are the most important role to help those people who are facing mentally ill, and we should also try to find the best treatment for them as well. And we should also try to reduce stigma and encourage them to go for counseling, or we should also encourage them not to suffer in silence, but to go and seek counseling as soon as possible. And also, if we give a helping hand to them, then I think they will change. There is a hope to change them, and also they will get better from their illness.
You have to be very patient with them, not to be judgmental, because they also feel, they also think, they also sense. Encourage them to talk with care provider, primary care provider. It will be more comfortable, they share with the people.
Social media has turned into a portion of our daily life, because that is where we depend on it in every activities, whether it's good or bad. Everything that we get, every knowledge that we see, everything we get everything from the social media. And not only that, like a coin has two sides. Just like the social media also has favored standpoint and hindrances too. In present trend, in this society, in the present context, social media has become one of the universe among the adolescents, where they use social media as a part of their daily life. And then so using social media is not immoral, but the way we use it is important as well. And in order to curb these issues, I think adolescents must be given direction. They have to be given direction how to use it, and what accurate they have to use it. And not only that, we have to teach them the culture and overall age related activities, instead of getting involved in social media and just wasting their time in gaming or unusable chatting. I think it's time to we should encourage them to take initiative to find out how best site they can use. And not only that, we can also make our millennials, our new generation, to use the technology in a good and not a bad. And so I think the best thing in order to curb this issue is to change the cognitive behavior.
Let's talk about a very important topic that is relevant for the youths, and that is addiction. In addiction, there are two types. One is the chemical addiction, and the other is behavioral addiction. In chemical addiction, it is the drugs and alcohol and marijuana, all this. And in behavioral addiction, it is the mobile and internet addiction, gambling and internet addiction has become a huge problem in our society. And like any other addiction, like any other chemical addiction, it depends a lot on the person. So one has to find reasons why the person need to stop the addiction. Here the person can chart out pros and cons of the behavior that they're engaging in, and also they can have support system. People who are having similar addiction and wanting to stop, they can build groups and peer groups and encourage one another. Then they can also a small, very practical one, they can reduce the internet pack that they are using, and many other techniques, but these are the few basic techniques that one can employ. If we want to stop the addiction, sometimes at a certain point, be it chemical addiction also, be it smoking or drinking, if you are regular on that and there's a certain time you drink, or there's a certain time you play the phone or use social media, if you want to quit, just staying idle, you'll feel restless. So you will have to find alternate activity which is very interesting, to engage yourself in that activity so that you'll be distracted from the previously addicted activity, which is not healthy for you. So just by saying that I will stay away from the activity without engaging in any activity, often you will not be able to last long, and then you may engage in the activity again. So you will also have to find out a hobby or some activity which interests you a lot, so as to get distracted from the addicted behavior.
Regarding to the present generation using a lot of social media, how to stop or how to prevent them from instant gratification, I should say we can't stop, because we are already in a stage where this social media or means of communication is very much part and parcel of us. We can't stop them using it, but the only thing that we can do is we can teach them how to use or where to use those things, that we should guide them, psycho-educate them, so that they learn responsibly, use responsibly. Yeah, that is required here. Okay, so these are the things that we should be using, or we can also give certain areas that they should be working upon. See, for example, when we speak about the students or the teenagers like that, if a person is interested in the music or sports, he or she is into that, guide him or her so that he can search, so that he can grow in that, because there are a lot of good things as well in this particular social media. Anything, everything we can access, we can get. But the only thing is that the parents and the teachers or the elders should guide them, so that which way we are orienting or which way he or she is interested. Accordingly, we should give him, her, so that he grows in it. Because to stop fully is not possible, but if we give certain areas that he or she can learn from it, I believe he or she will be also interested to search more and more in that area and grow, develop too. That's what I would say. So guide them how to use, not to stop.
And in the end, the general mental health promotion. How can we promote mental health? Before moving that, I would like to emphasize that our mind and our body are interrelated. So if we are not feeling well, we are not happy, then it affects our health. Like we will not be able to sleep well, we may be developing gastritis, we may be having headache, and or if we are physically not well, we are sickly, then mentally also we're not very fit and happy. We don't have that well-being. So therefore, exercise, proper sleep, and balanced diet is very important in order to promote mental health. Exercise keeps our body fit. At the same time, especially when we are stressed, when we are sad, it's like when we exercise, it secretes a feel-good hormone, endorphin, so we feel better. So therefore, exercise is very helpful. When we sleep well, for example, if you have not slept well, then the next morning, I'm sure you would be very restless, you would be very sensitive to little noise that you hear. When people try to talk to you, you'll feel agitated, so therefore sleep is also very important to feel fresh and feel good. And balanced diet is important again. Often when people are stressed, they engage in binge eating, unhealthy eating, which also affects their health. So that is there. Therefore, this tree aspect is very important. You may be thinking that this is just like physical thing, and how is it related to mental health? But once this is properly regulated, half of the job to maintain mental health is done, I would say. Then some of the other things are, when one is stressed, often people try to push away the responsibility that gives them stress. But we will find that the responsibility doesn't go away. Therefore, even our stress stay. Therefore, instead of pushing away, trying to do the work bit by bit, or one thing at a time, that also is helpful. When someone is stressed and not feeling good, often youths, commonly in youths, they tend to engage in substance use, which is also again maladaptive coping. Therefore, instead of using substances, maybe reaching out to friends, doing some breathing exercise, journaling, writing in a diary about your negative feelings, all this also helps. So instead of moving towards this substance use, because once you use substance use, every time you feel stressed, you will tend to use the substance, and later you will become dependent, addicted to the substance. So we have to stay away from the maladaptive coping.
Well, the tips for mental health is because it is a life that you live flourishing, not languishing. In Nagamese we say kinika se, and some say niya se. That is languish life. You must be able to say, I am good, I am doing well. That's a flourishing life. That need, the tips will be do something you enjoy every day. Whatever you enjoy. But you enjoy what you do. Most of the people, they are not happy with their work. So my first tip is do something you enjoy. Second one will be managing stress. You know when you are stressed. Then do activity and exercise. Then connect with others and be sociable, not to be isolated. These are some of the tips. There are other tips. Avoid alcohol, smoking, drugs, get plenty of sunlight, eat well, sleep well. These are the tips.
One of the things that I would suggest or to my view is get sufficient sleep. Get sufficient sleep. Because the sleep that a person requires for a normal body, if he or she is not properly eating, not properly sleeping, then that can develop. Second, eat healthily too. Healthily, because the present generation tend to go for a lot of junk food, may not be very healthy. So eat wisely, sleep sufficiently, and the third thing that I would suggest or to my view is have sufficient exercise, physical activities. Yeah, I may be very busy in my office or with my mobile. I'm playing very hard, but that may not be very good for my body, because my body needs also some type of physical exercise. So these three things that I would suggest: sleep sufficiently, have sufficient exercise, and eat healthily. Okay.